Hi, friends. Welcome to Wicked Wit Podcast. I'm your host, Randy Joe. Thank you for joining me today. I did want to apologize for no new episodes last week. I thought that it would be best for me to take a week off of recording just to really focus on my notes. I have seemed to catch up with myself and kind of lagging a little bit, and I would not feel right giving you guys an episode that I have not put my all into. Today, I am covering the case of Alex Skeel and Jordan Worth. And this isn't a typical case that I would cover, but when I did first hear about this case years ago, for some reason it stuck with me, and I have fallen down a rabbit hole many times with this case. But I was listening to People Are the Worst podcast, and the ladies there covered it, and I couldn't stop thinking about it. And go give them a listen. They're amazing. They're funny. They're straight to the point. Chef's kiss. Mwah, top notch. But before we get into it today, do not forget to follow, download, rate, review, and subscribe anywhere you listen to your podcasts. Also, check out the Instagram for the podcast at Wicked Wit Pod. Any support really helps the show. And feel free to email me as well with any suggestions you have for a case or any paranormal or true crime encounters that you've experienced at wickedwitpod@gmail.com. All of this, along with the sources that I've used for this case, will be listed in the show notes as well. So let's get into it. Sources I've used this week were People Are the Worst Podcast, episode 25, www.independent.co.uk, www.bbc.co.uk, and I also found a very informative YouTube video, but I'm not going to give away the name. That's going to be listed in the show notes. So, all right, guys, let's get started. Alex Skeel was born in 1995 in Bedford, England. He had a twin brother named Luke and had a pretty normal upbringing. He enjoyed hanging out with friends, playing soccer for the States or football anywhere else, and playing video games. He loved the band Bastille, and he was just pretty much a normal kid. And when Alex was 16 years old, he went to a friend's college performance where he meets 16-year-old Jordan Worth. And this case does take place in the UK, and the education system is different there. But while at this performance, the two got to talking, and they really hit it off, and they soon became an item. Alex had never had a girlfriend before, and he had never really given it any thought. But after he had met Jordan and got to know her, he was smitten with her. And just a little bit of background on Jordan. She had come from a normal background as well. She had a loving, supportive family. She got good grades in school and was raising money for underprivileged children in Africa when the two met. She was very attentive to Alex, and his friends really came to like her, so she quickly became a part of Alex's friend group. The two would spend weekends together, and it seemed like a pretty perfect teenage romance. But after about a year together, Jordan slowly became controlling. She would tell Alex that she didn't like when he wore the color gray, certain shoes he would wear, or his hairstyle, which is absolutely a red flag. But when you're a teenager and in love, I guess you are kind of blinded by that sort of thing. She would also make comments about how weird she thought his family was because they were close and had dinner at the dining room table every night. Side note, one, that's not weird. And two, no one asked you. But as time went on, she became more controlling and just strange. She would have like strange behaviors. So, for example, for Jordan's 18th birthday, Alex and his family took her to see The Lion King. I think it was more of a play, not like the movie, because they traveled to see it and they also stayed overnight in a hotel, which is super nice of his family to do. They didn't have to do that for her 18th birthday. But after it was over, the family went back to the hotel for the night. And around midnight, Alex woke up to use the bathroom, and Jordan was nowhere to be found. So in a panic, Alex goes to Jed, which is his mom. I'm going to be talking about Jed quite a bit in this case. He goes to Jed's room and tells her that he can't find Alex Jordan and that she's gone. So the family goes out and they start looking for her. They're calling her name. They're walking the streets for about an hour until they decide they need to go back to the hotel and call the police. And when they entered the hotel, they found Jordan in the lobby laughing hysterically. I would be so fucking pissed off if I was Alex or Jed or anybody in the family for that matter. Like, I took you here out of the kindness of my heart and you're going to play a fucking prank like this. It's not even a prank. It's just pretty cruel. But Jordan said she did this to see how much Alex cared about her. A side note, don't be this girl. This is fucking weirdo behavior. And it's not cute, it's not funny, and it's certainly not okay to do to somebody in the middle of the night. Like, just don't fucking do that. That's just weird. So when Alex and his twin brother, Luke, had turned 18 a few months after the Lion King debacle, Jed threw a massive party for her boys and invited all of their family friends as well as friends from school. And this included Jed's best friend's daughter, who was 15 at the time and was described as a beautiful young lady. Jordan, of course, was full of jealousy and told Alex that if the friend's daughter would be in attendance to count her out. She said, "No, I'm not coming." But of course, she still goes to the party because she isn't going to miss the party. Duh. I think she just wanted to mark her territory and intimidate this poor girl. But the friend's daughter was in attendance as well, of course. I mean, they're family friends. Why wouldn't you want to celebrate a loved one of yours? So, about halfway through the party, the music stops due to screaming coming from Jordan, and she is causing a scene and threatening this poor 15-year-old girl to stay away from Alex. And later that night, Jordan and Alex were arguing about the chaos that Jordan has caused at the party. And she took his SIM card out of his phone and she snaps it in two. This was the last straw for Alex. He said, "Kick rocks, bitch." That's not verbatim, but that's just what I would have said. So he ends the relationship. And of course, not long after the breakup, Jordan showed up at Jed's house with the news that she's pregnant. So Jed, of course, can spot the crazy a mile away, and she doesn't believe her. To be honest, I wouldn't either. And I would probably do what Jed does, but Jed does make Jordan take a pregnancy test right there, which proves that Jordan is indeed pregnant. So Alex is supportive and he wants to be in his child's life, but he does stand firm on the fact that he and Jordan cannot be in a relationship. So Jordan retaliates by disappearing for a full year. No contact, no phone call when the baby's born, nothing. It's crickets. Until 2014, when Jordan decides to give Jed a call and asks her if she would like to meet her grandson. Of course, Jed says yes, and they set up a meeting without Alex there. And Jed is absolutely over the moon when she first lays eyes on her grandson, TJ, who is 3 months old at the time. She said it was like staring at Alex as a baby. So of course she's in love. This is her first grandbaby. So Jed, Jordan, and baby TJ, they spend the next few hours catching up. They're playing, and Jed is just loving up on that grandbaby of hers. And after the visit was over, Jed does call Alex and tells him that she wholeheartedly believes that motherhood has made Jordan grow up, and she thinks all of the past child bullshit is over. She says, I think this is, I think she's grown up. She's done what she needs to do. Motherhood is great on her. I think you need to meet your son. Of course, Alex agrees that he needs to meet his son, but he doesn't believe that Jordan has changed. But he does make arrangements with his grandfather, who he is very close with, and he wants his grandfather to be with him when he meets TJ, but Jordan is not allowed there. So the day comes, and Alex's grandfather shows up to Jordan's house. Jordan leaves, And once she is gone and the coast is clear, Alex shows up. The visit is incredible, and Alex just adores baby TJ. So after meeting his son, Alex wants to continue seeing his son and raising his son, being in his son's life, which ultimately opens up communication with Jordan. I mean, we saw this coming from a mile away, right? And not long after this, Jordan and TJ move into Jed's home with Alex. At first, the family does see a difference in Jordan and they give her the benefit of the doubt, but one person close to Alex can see right through her bullshit, and that is Alex's best friend, Jordan Parker. I am going to call him Parker just so there's no confusion between bad Jordan and good Jordan. So Parker has a bad gut feeling about this whole situation, and he voices his concerns to Jed, saying he thinks Alex is falling in love with Jordan again. And Parker's gut feeling proves to be right. And on New Year's Day 2015, the two make their relationship Facebook official. Oh, the days of Facebook official relationships. Jordan cannot keep her crazy contained for too long, though, and pretty soon she begins calling Alex names and trying to mentally break him. And so they're still living in Jed's house. And one day, Alex and Jordan, they're just driving around and they end up passing Jed's best friend's daughter. And this causes Jordan to lose her fucking shit. Like, she is going bat shit crazy. She is shouting at her and freaking out. She's just losing her mind on this innocent girl. Like, could you imagine? I'm just minding my own business, and then all of a sudden, some fucking freak is like, I can just picture it like hanging out of the window, shouting obscenities at me. And when I didn't do anything, I'm just trying to go where I need to go. But anyway, when the two had gotten back to Jed's house, Jed is furious about what happened and she sits the two down. And this leads to a massive blowout fight, and Jordan packs up her and TJ's things. And in typical narcissistic fashion, Jordan then tells Alex to choose between her and TJ or his mother. Obviously, what is Alex going to choose? He's going to choose his son. So he packs his things up and he leaves Jed's home. At this point, the couple moves into Jordan's parents' house temporarily, and things are okay for a very short period of time. But it's not long until Jordan starts accusing Alex of being with other girls when she disappeared for that year. And these thoughts that Jordan had, they just made her spiral even more. So at this point, she's isolating him. She's making him delete all of his social media. He gets a new phone number. She takes his PlayStation away. Think, what is that going to do? Anyway, she does that kind of shit. And it's isolation at its finest. She's distancing himself away from everyone but Jordan, which is probably the scariest thing because anybody from the outside looking in can see that this is definitely probably the biggest red flag. Like, they don't talk to any of their family, none of their friends. It's a very scary turning point. And during this time, Jed, obviously, she has no way of getting in touch with her son. So she decides to send him a wire transfer for £1. And in the memo box, she puts, "I love you." And Alex only responded with, "I hate you. Stay away from me," which I'm sure was Jordan, not Alex. I don't know. Jed has some serious composure because I would beat the living hell out of this girl. I, there, I said it. I would. But anyway, a few weeks pass and Jed calls Jordan's mom to relay the message that Alex's grandfather, that he was very close with, had passed away. So Jordan breaks the news to Alex, and he is absolutely heartbroken. He's sobbing and he feels terribly guilty for not being able to say goodbye. So a few hours pass, and Alex is still mourning, rightfully so. And Jordan asks him what's wrong. And he responds that his grandfather passed away. And Jordan says his grandfather is alive. She made up the entire thing to see if Alex missed his family. Oh my God. Like, duh, you dumb fucking bitch. Of course he misses his family, you evil scum. In July of 2016, the couple moved out of Jordan's parents' home to an apartment of their own. And everything was great for the first month. And this is when they decided that they should try for baby number 2. Why not? Let's bring a child into it. And she gets pregnant right away. And I can just imagine what hormones are going to do to her at this time. Oh my God. Like, he wasn't around for the first round of hormones. I can just imagine what the second round is going to be. Oh, Jesus Christ. So while Jordan is pregnant, she is attending school, but she does tell Alex that he should quit his job so he can make better money for the growing family. Alex does agree that he should be making more money, but he does really love his job and doesn't want to quit, but does it anyway because it's what Jordan said to do. And after Alex quits his job, Jordan goes as far as making him sit in her car while she's in class all day, 8 hours a day. And she does this because she said she's afraid that he's going to reach out to his family while she's in, I don't know. It's just fucking weird. Like, why would you do that? It's not like you can watch him while you're in class, but whatever. Alex's friends had missed him terribly, of course, and they would occasionally type his name into the search bar on Facebook to see if anything would pop up, like he had made a new Facebook or reactivated or anything of the sort. And one day, a friend had found Alex, Alix, Skeel on Facebook, and had alerted the other friends, as well as Alex's family. And Parker, Alex's best friend, he received a message on Facebook one day that said, quote, "Just so you know, I've never been your fucking friend. It's all been a lie. I want nothing to do with you." End quote. So Parker just responds, "Okay, Jordan," and immediately gets blocked. Like, Parker knew, I feel like they have the type of bond that, like, I don't know, it's not like there's no questions asked, like they found each other and they're friends for life. But girls that Alex had been friends with before, they would receive messages from the Facebook account asking if they were still fat. Like, obviously everybody knows it's you, Jordan, you fucking dumbass. But friends and family at this point, they're stalking the Facebook page and they see that he had changed his location to Stewartby, which is a small town about 20 minutes from Bedford. And this is when his aunt decides to take matters into her own hands and she says, "Well, fuck it, I'm going to go look for him." So Alex's aunt is driving around Stewartby and she sees an elephant in the window. I don't know if it was a stuffed animal or a trinket. There were conflicting reports on that, but she sees an animal or an elephant in the window, and knowing that Jordan had a love for elephants, she says, "Why not? I might as well try my luck." And she parks her car and walks up to the door and she knocks. Well, the lights go out. So she waits a minute more and she sees a lamp go on in the house. And she sees Alex's face, like, in the glow of the lamp, and then a split second later, the lamp turns off. So she is relieved that she actually saw him, but she does take this as a sign, like, he hates us, we're probably never going to see him again. But she is relieved that she saw proof of life. So somehow Alex's grandfather had gotten a hold of his phone number and decided to send him a text expressing how much Alex was loved and missed. And the response was a gut punch. It read, quote, "Please don't ever message me again," end quote. He was devastated. I mean, rightfully so. Oh my God. Jo- Jordan's a fucking terrible human being. So one night, Jordan and Alex had plans to go to Winter Wonderland in London when Jordan started her cheating allegations again. Like, how can he cheat on you? He's with you at all times. He's stuck in your car. He he's not allowed to talk to anybody without you knowing. But anyway, Alex is arguing back and he's saying, let's just go. We drove all the way here. We'll have fun. And Jordan responds and says, the only way I go is if you go into the pharmacy and buy a bottle of sleeping pills. So, of course, he does. And when he returns to the car, she tells him, take one. And he does because she said so. And she says, good. Now take the rest of the bottle. And he does. He doesn't remember shit. He doesn't remember Winter Wonderland or going home that night. He doesn't remember a thing. So at this point, Jordan is escalating fast. And one day the couple is driving and the car ride is pretty silent when all of a sudden she takes out her hairbrush and smacks him in the face with it. And when she does this, she knocks his tooth loose, which he eventually had to pull out himself because he had no money, no way to get to a dentist. And even if he did have money or a way to get to the dentist, she probably wouldn't have let him go anyway. So she escalates from a hairbrush to a hammer. Are you fucking kidding me? He would be asleep and then he would be woken up with a hammer to his head, like a full-on fucking blow to his head with a hammer. At this point, physical abuse had become the new normal, and Alex is afraid that if he leaves, she's going to start abusing TJ and the new baby because she is still pregnant at this point. But he's afraid that, if he leaves, she's going to start taking it out on the kids. So she does what she does, and she escalates from a hammer to knives now. She is slicing him and giving him small jabs here and there, like little like stabbings. Nothing that he would need to seek immediate medical attention for, but still, this nuts bitch has now resorted to stabbing and slicing her boyfriend. She is also refusing him food, leading him to lose 98 pounds, which he couldn't afford to lose in the first place because he was pretty skinny before the abuse started. She's not letting him sleep in their bed. He's forced to sleep on the floor and use clothes as a pillow and blanket. Like, oh. On February 17th, 2017, at 2:30 a.m., Alex places a phone call to his father for help. So his dad, he rushes over there and he knocks on the door. And of course, again, the lights go out. So his dad's like, well, fuck you. I'm calling the cops. So the police show up and they go into the home, leaving his dad outside. And when the cops come out, they say, oh, it was just a domestic dispute. But just so you know, Alex is walking with a limp. So his dad's like, what the fuck? And he tries to go inside the home again, but he leaves because Jordan won't let him enter. And I guess a few days later or a few months go by, and the couple go to a Skeel concert, and they end up having a great time. There are no arguments or crazy behavior. Like, it's like beforehand, like before the whole Lion King debacle, or like her saying, oh, don't wear gray. And they return home that night, and Alex goes to sleep on the floor. And he goes to sleep. He's pretty hopeful that the abuse is over, and now they can move on to, a normal relationship, a relationship that he had in the beginning. But this doesn't last, and he is woken up by being doused with boiling water. So she tries to play nice after she did this to him and runs him a cold bath to ease the pain. And as Alex is getting into the bathtub, she dumps more boiling water on him. She tells him to get out of the tub or she'll do it again. She does not let him get medical treatment, of course, for his burns. She made him wrap the wounds in cling wrap, like saran wrap. In May of 2017, their daughter was born, and again, Alex is hopeful that the abuse is over because of hormones. And it is. The end. No, I'm just kidding. The abuse is over for 3 days. She bought a cheap lie detector, and this thing is literally a toy. It's not real at all. It doesn't detect any kind of lies or anything like that. It's just some cheap bullshit that she probably bought off Amazon or, something like that. So she straps him onto it or into it or however, she sets him up. And she's going to test his commitment to her, she says. So she asks Alex if he's ever cheated on her. He answers no, but the lie detector buzzes, indicating that he lied, which he didn't. It's a toy. And she pours boiling water on him yet again. And she's continuing to ask him questions and burns him with water anytime the toy buzzes. She's making this a sick little fucking game. But neighbors, they hear screaming coming from the home and they call 999. And they told the operator that the screaming coming from the home is actually from the man, not the woman. And the man is yelling, "Please stop hurting me. Get off of me." So police, they arrive, and Jordan tells them that the burns are from a shower that was too hot. She doesn't even let Alex talk. So obviously, they see through the lie. So they're like, "Alex, come on, we're taking you to the hospital." And while they're at the hospital, Alex is supposed to get skin grafts for his burns, which are all infected, but doctors and nurses tell Alex that he needs surgery immediately. Jordan then steps in and she pulls Alex aside and talks to him for a minute or so. And he comes back and says, "No, I'm not getting surgery. I'm going home." The doctor is shocked, and nurses are pleading with him to get the care that he needs. He doesn't comply and he leaves after looking the doctor in the eye, telling the doctor that home is a safe place. Jordan continues with the boiling water after they get home, and neighbors call the police again after hearing arguing. And I'm assuming this was a few days after, like the abuse is just continuously going on. And Sergeant Ed Finn, he responds to the call, and he's got his body cam on, like police do. And you can watch the body cam footage. It is heartbreaking just knowing what happens behind closed doors. Like, it's it really pulls at your heartstrings. But Alex, he opens the door for Sergeant Finn, and he looks like absolute hell. He's got burns all over his body. His arm is wrapped with like a bandage. It's not a cast, but it's like you can tell it's like an ace bandage, I guess. He's got cuts on his face. He's skin and bones, like literally probably like 100 pounds soaking wet. And when Sergeant Finn, had asked Alex what happened to him, Alex told him it's all self-inflicted. And he has suffered from depression for a long time. He's doing this to himself. Obviously, Finn does not buy it, and he tells Jordan that she's taking Alex to the police station. So Ed and Alex get into the police car, and Finn asks him again what happened. But he also says, "Alex, we're not leaving until you tell me the truth." And Alex sticks to his story. So Finn, the sergeant, he then turns off his body cam and his dash cam and asks Alex one more time. And then Alex breaks down and tells him everything. So after Alex finishes telling Sergeant Finn everything that has happened to him within the last 2 years, Finn goes back to the home and tells Jordan that he just got a full recap from the neighbors and she is under arrest for suspicion of domestic abuse. And this idiot, she really asks Finn how long this will take. She says, "Oh, how long will this take? Like an hour?" Dumbass, you're arrested. It's going to take longer than an hour. So officers take Alex back to the hospital to get a full exam, and doctors found that he had severe brain injuries and fluid in the brain because of the hammer and whatever else she decided to hit him with. And they told him that he was 10 days away from death had he not gotten the medical attention that day. So Alex is admitted to the ICU, and the hospital tweets, which I didn't know that they could do this, but Apparently they can. Maybe things are different over in the UK. But the hospital tweets, quote, "Yesterday I dealt with the worst domestic abuse in my career. One is in custody for GBH and she will be questioned by our Emerald team." End quote. And GBH stands for grievous bodily harm. Alex was in the hospital for a few days, and when he is released, he goes to the police station for questioning. And with no money and nowhere to go, these police officers, they do get him a hotel for the night and they get him dinner from McDonald's. Alex had said that that the McDonald's, this poor guy, was the best hot meal that he's had in 2 years. And the next morning, when Alex wakes up, he goes to the lobby of the hotel for the free breakfast. And as he's sitting there in bloodstained clothes, looking like death, probably surrounded by people on vacation and business people, he just has like this, not like a full circle moment, but like he just starts laughing to himself. Like, I'm sure he was just so relieved that the only thing that he could do was laugh. So police, they then called Jed and they fill her in on what was going on with Alex. They tell her that he's safe and he's coming home. And she recalls losing it when she first saw him. She said he was barely able to walk. And when she opened the door, the first thing he said to her was, "Can I have a cuddle?" Oh my God, I would fucking lose it. His aunt recalls that Alex didn't look or smell like he was alive. That's terrible. Just terrible. But within 5 days, Alex's children, they were taken from Jordan, and Alex was granted full custody. And poor Jed, she didn't even know that she had a granddaughter. Oh, oh. On September 28th, 2017, Jordan was charged with 17 counts of grievous bodily harm and coercive control. She was the first woman to ever be charged with coercive control in the UK. Jordan then pled guilty to 3 of the charges, and during sentencing, she showed no remorse, of course, did not give an apology to Alex, and she told the judge to relay the message to Alex that she doesn't blame him for anything she did to him. The fuck? Why would he? Like, why would she blame him? Ugh, my gosh. I hate this girl. April 2018, Jordan was given 2 7-year sentences for wounding with intent and grievous bodily harm, having to serve the sentences concurrently, and an additional 6 months for the coercive behavior. Alex said that he felt fully free when she went to prison, and as of today, he is a football or soccer coach, and he raises those sweet babies. He does do interviews to raise awareness to domestic violence, and he tells his story. And I will not be going into detail about Jordan and her time in prison. She has already rented too much space in my head, and she doesn't deserve shit. I will say this, though. She posts on Facebook from prison about being a victim of domestic violence. I'm done. The delusion with this fucking nutcase is unreal. So, that is the amazing survival story of Alex Skeel and the worthless piece of shit Jordan worthless. But yeah, that's what I got for you guys this week. Make sure to check out the podcast Instagram at Wicked Wit Pod. And yeah, I will catch you guys later. Don't forget to download, rate, review, subscribe, all of the fun things. And I will talk to you guys next week. Bye.